Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Piland, and I want to thank you for listening to my show on iStart Radio and watching my show on YouTube today. I want to talk to you about um, Spike TV for a second. Um, in case most of you haven't heard yet, Spike TV is about to become the Paramount Network. But here's the thing. There's been a Paramount Network several years ago. In fact, if you were living in Dallas by the 1980s and early 90s, you would have came across that on KTXA. And the shows back then were different. Now, that's what Spike TV is becoming. In fact, they started out as TNN years ago when it was a country channel. And then they added on sports and other stuff. And then in the late 90s, early 2000s, that's when they started adding other shows like WKRP in Cincinnati. In fact, it was the last time it actually aired on television, as far as I remember. And maybe Diginets have started doing that as well, but some of the shows will remain the same, despite the network rebranding. In fact, the last network rebranding that took place was Centric when they became BET Her, which was about women. I don't know why they did that, but that's what they did. Now, most of you already know that I used to work in a restaurant myself. In fact, I've worked in two of them. I worked at Town Crier with my first job, and then Subway was my second and third jobs that were restaurant related that weren't nursing homes. I can tell you that. But the main reason why I brought that up is because a man who wanted to sober up after having been drunk was looking to get some service at Waffle House. Come to find out, the employees were sleeping on the job. So he ended up cooking his own meal and taking selfies. And when he took those selfies, he posted them on Facebook. If there are any difficulties, I apologize. The camcorder's time clock is slow. But in any event, the people at Waffle House have disciplined the employee involved. Because there was no reason why the customer in question should have ever had to go in the back room and make his own food. He paid for his meal. Don't give him credit for that. And what did he get out of it? They decided that they're thinking about offering him a job where he gets to cook. We'll be back after this. And welcome back to the show. Now earlier, I was talking about the guy who made himself some breakfast in the back room of a Waffle House. Most people wouldn't have done that. And you know, no customer should have ever had to go in the back room anyway, because for health and safety reasons. It's policy. It really is. And one of the main reasons why is because, you know, it's unacceptable. Now, if you enjoy watching my show, I want you to subscribe to me on YouTube. Just click the subscribe button when you click on my show, and that way you'll be notified when my shows are next uploaded. Now, here is one alcohol-related story I just came across today. And it doesn't have anything to do with a human being whatsoever. It has to do with a skunk. In Fort Walton Beach, Florida, an opossum that apparently drank bourbon after breaking into a Florida liquor store sobered up at a wildlife rescue center and was released unharmed. The Emerald Coast Wildlife Refuge officials say the opossum was brought in by a Fort Walton Beach, Florida police officer on November 24th. A liquor store employee found the animal next to a broken and empty bottle of bourbon. Refuge technician Michelle Pettis told the Panama City News Herald the female opossum appeared disoriented and was excessively salivating and was pale. The staff pumped the marsupial full of fluids and cared for her as she sobered up. Pettis says the opossum did not appear to have a hangover. The store owner says he has never had an opossum break-in before. The animal was released on Thursday. Seriously, a skunk. Usually you hear of people drinking and driving, but not a skunk. In fact, the last person I heard about that was arrested for DUI was none other than Shauna Lake over at KUTV News. Well, she has since apologized for her behavior, has moved on, and continues to anchor the news on KUTV as Jane McGarry has done, but at another TV station instead of NBC5 KXAS. She moved to WFAA. I don't know if she's been on there since then or not, but they each have had second chances. And let's not forget about Tiger Woods. He's planning on playing golf again. And as long as he doesn't get himself in any further trouble, we shouldn't have any problems with him. Because it's one thing we don't need. And for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. But for those listening on iStart Radio, we'll be back after this.